and welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
And I'm Bajo.
And I am Darren.
Coming up on the show, we enter some missile-heavy galactic combat in Strike Suit Zero.
Plus, we'll fight through some dragons, orcs, and even some evil elves with Gandalf and the gang in LEGO The Hobbit.
Out of the frying pan.
But first, Darren, your challenge?
Oh, thank you, Hex. All right, Spawnlings, get your grey matter ready and revved up. It's time for Darren's challenge. This week I'm asking, what was the very first LEGO video game ever created? I'll reveal the answer at the very end of the show.
That's a tough one, Darren, because there's been so many LEGO video games.
Yeah, was it LEGO Batman?
Negative.
Was it LEGO Harry Potter?
Bajo, I'm not telling.
We should go to Goose with the news.
Yeah. Was it LEGO Batman 2?
Batman 1 comes before Batman 2, Bajo.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys. Goose here, bringing you all of the Spawn Point news. Hot off the presses. The stream of ever-impressive Minecraft projects seems unstoppable, as the entire country of Denmark has now been recreated at a 1-to-1 scale within the game. The nearly 43,000 square kilometers of countryside and buildings was recreated into approximately 4,000 billion bricks by just 2 people at the Danish Geodata Agency. The map is available for download, however it takes up 1,000 gigabytes of hard drive space. A new speedrun world record has been set for Super Mario 64. Famous speedrunner Michael Siegler, better known as Sieglermick, managed to collect all 120 stars in 1 hour and 43 minutes 54 seconds. He played using an original unmodified Nintendo 64 version of the game, however he does play the Japanese version as it gives a 2.7 second advantage thanks to a shorter introduction. And that's all the news, back to you guys.
Thanks, Goose. Okay, guys, let's strap in and take to the starry skies in Strike Suit Zero Director's Cut.
Strike Suit Zero originally came out early last year for PCs, but has now been remastered and improved in this director's cut for next-gen consoles and PC. It's an arcade-influenced space combat game which takes heavy inspiration from classic anime shows such as Gundam and Macross. These inspirations are obvious from the transforming mecha suits and the impressive missile swarms, often known as a Macross missile massacre. These are also referred to as an Itano circus, named after Ichiro Itano, the animator who pioneered the effect.
You're a bit of an anime fan, aren't you, Darren?
Ah, affirmative. Especially ones with space battles and giant transforming robots and lasers. Pew, 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 pew.
The game takes place in the year 2299. Humanity has expanded out into the galaxy but is now at war with itself. You fight for the United Nations of Earth against a powerful rebellion of outer planets, sick of being refused independence from Earth's rule.
Outside of a pretty cool intro cutscene, the story is told through a bit of radio chatter, events in-game, and also some text in between the missions. I just think it needed a few more cutscenes to help flesh out the story a bit.
Yeah, and it's always hard to pay attention to radio chatter when you're in the middle of a big space battle, isn't it?
The colonies blockaded the signal site. Bowman was ordered to break the blockade.
Maybe for you humans it is.
Oh, well, Darren, most of the spawnlings are humans, so I think that's a pretty fair point for Hex to mention.
I think you'll find this show is quite popular with young robots across this entire space sector.
Really?
Oh.
Well, hello to all our robot viewers. Salute you. Well, yes, so this game actually has some really nice environments too, and good objectives throughout the campaign.
Oh, affirmative. Missions take place in some quite spectacular locations with objectives that vary from all-out assaults, escorts, or defense, to name a few. There's an excellent sense of scale too, with multiple friendly and enemy fighters and huge capital ships all taking part in each battle.
Yeah, things can get quite hectic when you're involved in one of those larger battles, can't they?
Yeah.
You can choose from a range of ships before each mission and customize their loadouts. New ships, weapons, and bonuses are also awarded for meeting specific parameters within missions.
Yeah, they're great little extra objectives to strive for, and it's nice to have that choice of ship. I have to be honest though, I came to rely pretty much solely on the strike suit, because when it transforms into strike mode, it makes you super powerful. You gain extra agility and can simply hold a button down to auto-lock onto nearby fighters, making short work of tough dogfights.
Fully armed and operational.
Not to mention, it's only in this mode that you can unleash the Macross Missile Massacre! Shoo shoo shoo! Pew 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 pew!
Yeah, it's so satisfying to paint a whole enemy squadron and then unleash those missiles. I liked how they balanced it too, so it's not overpowered.
Affirmative. Shooting while in this mode drains flux, and once you run out of that, you transform back into the standard fighter mode. But shooting down enemies will replenish it. This forces you to use it sparingly, but also lets a conservative player remain in strike mode for much longer.
One thing that really bothered me were the controls. Normally I like to use non-inverted controls for console games, except when it comes to flight games, I really kind of understand the inverted process with that.
Well, Hex, inverted controls for flight games resemble how a flight stick on a plane operates, pushing forward to lower the nose of the craft and pulling back to pull it up. And since many of the first video games were flight simulators, it became de rigueur.
Well, that makes sense. And the flight controls were inverted here, so that was fine. But for some reason, when I go into strike mode, because that's more of a third-person shooter style of play, my brain just wanted to switch back to non-inverted controls. It did my head in. And because there's no separate option for flight or strike mode, no matter which one I chose, one of them felt wrong.
Oh, your poor fleshy brain. If only you had upgradable memory chips.
Well, I think this is good, solid arcade fun, so I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Well, the control system held things back a little bit for me, so I'm giving it 7 out of 10. Alright, we should get stuck into some questions, Bajo.
Alright, Hex, what have you got for us?
Well, since we had a look at Clash of Clans the other week, we've had heaps of questions about it, so I thought we might tackle a few of them this week. First up, we have this one from Daniel, who is in Bankstown, New South Wales.
Do you think there's a lot of banks in Bankstown? Is it full of banks?
I would say it has about the same amount of banks as other
It's misleading.
towns. Hello GGSP, I've really been struggling on how to get the best level 6 town hall base ever in Clash of Clans because it's not fair. People are attacking me with level 13 Barbarian King and Hog Riders that just jump over my walls. Please tell me or I will become a noob. Like Darren, Hex, you rock. Bago, you're okay, just do this.
Sorry.
A bit.
Well, Daniel, there's really not much you can do if a player of a much higher level decides to raid your base. There's only so much lower level defenses can hold back.
But there are some things you can do to reduce the chance of being raided. Firstly, just try and spend whatever gold and elixir you can. If you barely have any resources to steal, then you'll be far less likely to be raided.
Another option is to intentionally lose trophies. Higher level players typically have more trophies, and if you have a much lower trophy count, they won't get matched up against you. So if you attack other players with one unit and then surrender, then you can quickly get your trophy count down.
I see players doing that all the time on my base, Hex, but in terms of just generally designing a good defensive base, while there's no perfect design, there are a few things to keep in mind.
Yeah, so you always want to protect your defensive towers as much as possible. You especially want to protect wizard towers and mortars, since their splash damage can quickly cripple attacking armies. So try and make sure each tower is behind a wall and can defend a few other towers around it to stop them from becoming easy pickings. And of course, try and upgrade all of your defenses to their highest possible level.
And it's best to try and create as many different walled off areas in your base as possible. If you just have one big single wall around everything, then all it takes is one hole in the wall and the enemy can flood in. The more walled off areas you have, the trickier it is to wipe your base out.
At the end of the day, if a higher level player does decide to raid you, then even the best designed base in the world will likely crumble under their superior units. So moving on now to this one from T-Man Games 06, who is in Bowen Mountains, New South Wales.
Hi, good game. I've been waiting a long time to ask you this, but here it goes. I play Clash of Clans, and I was wondering if you could give me some tips on getting gold. Thanks, and Bajo, do these faces. Well, Team Man, we can definitely give you a few tips. So, obviously you should upgrade your gold mines as early as possible. The sooner they level up, the sooner you'll be raking in more gold.
That being said, mining gold yields chump change compared to successful raids against bases ripe for the picking. I like to train up armies with about 4 wall breakers, maybe 20 barbarians, and then fill the rest with goblins.
Yeah, then just keep hunting for an enemy's base that's loaded with gold, and preferably with weak defences. Then use your barbarians to distract their defences, use wall breakers to break in, and just let the goblin horde do its thing.
You'll often lose the raid that way, but you can easily steal all the gold before you do. It's a pretty quick army to train up too, so you can make some serious coin pretty quickly by just going on goblin raids.
Another way to make a decent chunk of money is by participating in clan wars. Depending on the level of player you attack and whether you and your clan win the war, you get a pretty good payout. You even get a fair bit if you win your attack, but your clan still loses.
All right, well, I think that's enough Clash of Clans questions for the week, so let's move on to this one from Minecraft Guy, who is in Minecraft Mania, New South Wales. Hi, good game. Believe it or not, my question isn't about Minecraft. I want Hex to answer this. My question is, can you get Trials Evolution Gold Edition and Trials Fusion on Xbox 360 and PS3? Well, Minecraft Guy, sorry to say, but Trials Evolution Gold Edition is exclusively on PC. But all it is basically just Trials HD and Trials Evolution plus the DLC. So that can all be purchased separately on Xbox 360, but it never came out on PS3. As for Fusion, well, that's available on Xbox 360, but not PS3, although it is on PS4.
Yes, well, I have nothing to add to that.
Well, it was a pretty good answer.
Comprehensive.
So, moving right along to this one from Mario, who is in the Mushroom Kingdom, Queensland.
Hi GGSP. 1. Will you guys do a review on Mario Kart 8 when it comes out? 2. Will you be able to play it on the gamepad screen? I'm off. Peach has just been stolen again. Oh! By the way, Darren is not a noob. Darren, please answer. Mario out. That Peach always getting kidnapped. Well, Mario, I can't imagine any reason why we wouldn't review Mario Kart 8. It's definitely one of the biggest games coming out this year, so we're keen to check it out.
And it's not far away either, providing there aren't any last-minute delays. It should be out at the end of this month, I think.
Yes. Also, yes, you will be able to play it on the gamepad screen, so you can happily play it even if you've been kicked off the television.
All right, well, moving on to this one now from the Lag Hag, who is in the centre of all lag, which is outside Australia. That sounds like a terrible place.
Yes, it does. You know, Darren kicks me off the television all the time.
Really?
Because he's got his robot cooking shows. Just watches them constantly. I don't understand them.
Oh, well, he's just trying to improve his cheese toasty making skills, and that will benefit us.
That is true, actually. Yeah, they are getting better. Hi guys, I was wondering if there is any way to reduce lag in games without changing the quality or the graphics chip. If there isn't, can you please tell me which visual options affect lag the most? Thanks. P.S. I heard that Bajo was on some sort of music video where he was holding a big boombox. Is this true? Oh, well, that sounds like a technical question for Darren. Shall I get him on the old phone and ringo hex?
I'll go on.
Hello, Bajo.
Hey, Darren, seeing as you always eavesdrop on our conversations anyway, why don't you just go ahead and answer to save time?
Oh, affirmative. So I think our spawning has confused lag with frame rate. Lag is the effect you get when you have a bad or slow connection to an online game, whereas the frame rate is what is largely affected by the quality of your graphics card and what graphical effects it's trying to produce. However, the power and speed of both your CPU and memory speed also affect your frame rate.
So is there any way to increase a game's frame rate without lowering the quality or upgrading the graphics card?
Oh, quite possibly, Hex. Firstly, you should always make sure that you have installed the latest drivers for your graphics card. Newer drivers can noticeably improve a game's performance. These can be downloaded freely from the website of your graphics card manufacturer. Secondly, before launching a game, make sure to shut down as many other programs as possible. Every program that you have open is using a portion of your computer's power, so the less it's running, the better your game should perform.
Yes, but the chances are that won't hugely improve your game's performance. So what effects should they turn down to boost frame rate, Darren?
Well, the first port of call for improving frame rate should be to reduce the resolution. A game running at a resolution of 1920 by 1080 pixels is outputting over twice as many pixels as a game running at 1280 by 720. So by lowering the resolution from 1080 to 720, you can almost double your frame rate. Other typically graphically intensive effects include lighting, shadows, and anti-aliasing. But typically you'll get the biggest performance boost by simply lowering resolution.
Oh, thank you for that comprehensive answer, Darren.
Oh, no problem, Bajo. See you soon.
See you soon, bye.
Now, what cheeses to use?
Well, I have been in a music video. We did one together, actually, Hex, but I don't recall there being a boombox of any description.
No, but you were pretty gangster in it, so maybe
Yeah.
that's the one he's thinking of.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
If you see him on the ground, don't wake him up, or he'll turn around. He'll eat you up and burp out loud. Because...
So gangster, Bajo.
Yeah, fat raps.
All right, well, I think we've got time for one more question, so let's go with this one from Gaming Lord in Castle Hill, New South Wales.
Hex, I'm just gonna... You rap so well with Darren. I just want to...
Hello?
Hi, Darren, it's Bajo. Quick, Darren, impro rap, go!
Affirmative. Lay down a beat. 2 slices of rye with double the cheese. I've got the sandwich that's sure to please. I'm the sandwich master. I'm the sandwich master. Break
Wiggy
it down.
wiggy cheese style.
That was really good.
Pretty good. We should put that on. We should lay down some tracks.
Yeah. I've sent you guys so many questions, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I watch all your shows and I think you guys are so cool. I've been to all the expos you guys have been to as well. 1. Is the only way to get Sims 3, SimCity and Sims Medieval is on Origin? 2. What's that game you reviewed that you are in space and under attack by space pirates and it's pixelated? Thanks. And can you guys please answer? P.S. Can you pull out Darren's lasers? He's so dangerous. Well, thanks for being such a big fan, Gaming Lord. But as for those games, you can actually buy them all on discs in a game shop. The Sims games are also available on Steam as well, but they are mature rated games, so make sure you check with your grown-ups to see if they're okay with that.
Although, even if you do buy SimCity in a store, I'm pretty sure you'll still need to download Origin and set up an account to play it. It's a bit of a hassle, but it's free to set up at least.
I don't think you need Origin for any of the Sims games to run if you buy them on disc though.
Right. As for the space game where you get attacked by pirates, I'm pretty sure you're thinking of FTL Faster Than Light, which you can get on PC or for iPads, and I think they're looking at possibly making an Android version as well, Hex.
Alrighty, well I think that's it for this week, so don't forget if you'd like to send us any questions, you can do so by going in here, and we'll do our best to answer them.
Before we go back to the studio, Hex.
Are you going to do another rap?
Yeah.
Hello?
Darren, break it down!
Grilled to perfection. My fine cheese selection. Sandwiches. Sandwiches. I'm the sandwich monster.
I'm using the
I'm
environment.
the sandwich master.
Break it down.
Break it down.
Good questions. Okay, guys, Gandalf and the gang need our help, and those Lego bricks aren't going to build themselves. This is Lego the Hobbit.
Dragon!
What surprised me most about this Lego spin on The Hobbit is just how much they've packed into it. For a start, it's covering the events of the first 2 films, so there's a big cast of characters and locations to get through.
Yeah, and those movies are not short either.
Yeah, and there's the whole world of Middle-earth to explore, which is obviously massive. But before we get too carried away, we should get you spawnlings up to speed with the story of The Hobbit. Darren, would you do the honours?
Affirmative. The main character, Bilbo Baggins, is a quiet little hobbit who's just minding his own business at home when the wizard Gandalf and a group of dwarves invite themselves around to dinner. And before you know it, they've convinced him to embark on an adventure to the Misty Mountain.
Ah, Misty Mountain. That's where the dwarves used to live before the nasty dragon Smaug kicked them out. But with Bilbo's help, the dwarves are off to reclaim it.
I signed it.
Welcome, Master Baggins, to the company of Thorin Oakenshield.
I loved seeing so many of my favourite moments from the books and films recreated here, like the 3 trolls
Can we cook him?
and the majestic elven city of Rivendell.
Gandalf. Lord Elrond. Strange for orcs to come so close to our borders. Something or someone has drawn them near.
Oh, and that great bit where Bilbo uses his magic ring to turn invisible and fight giant spiders, so cool.
Oh. And as usual with the Lego games, you can expect a sillier slapstick version of what the film was. I found myself chuckling the whole way through, Hex. But we should talk about the gameplay.
Affirmative. The basic Lego structure remains the same in this game. Bilbo and the group will break apart many blocks to build them into useful new tools. But this time around, they've added quite a few dwarf-specific features.
Yes, those dwarfs do work together pretty well. You can hop them up onto each other's shoulders to make dwarf ladders, and you'll need to grab a friend pretty regularly for these tag team attacks.
Yes, and like us, the dwarves are obviously big fans of Minecraft because they like to do a lot of mining and crafting. You'll find many spots where you can use a pickaxe to mine precious gems and metals from the ground. Then you can craft them together to build handy tools.
And I liked that they have included a little mini-game where you receive extra riches for timing the pickaxe swing just right. So many gems!
Oh, and while we're talking about crafting, I was glad to see they've kept those cool sped-up block building sections from the Lego Movie game. You have to quickly pick the right blocks before the time runs out, which is always fun.
Generally, I had fun with all of the block building, but there were some moments that felt particularly forced, such as when Bilbo meets Gollum.
Voiceless, it cries, wingless.
That's such an important moment in the story, where there's all these riddles that need to be answered, but instead of just saying the answers, Bilbo has to run around building them out of blocks.
It's wind. Of course it is.
That was just silly.
I didn't mind that, but I know what you mean. The game does often feel like it's relying on overcomplicated solutions just to keep you busy. Like this bit where you need to get onto a high cave ledge. I mean, what would your first thought be on how to get up there?
Use some of the rope they have in their backpacks?
Maybe make a dwarf ladder?
Both sensible suggestions, and that should work, but no. You need to throw food at this dwarf so that he gets tired and has a nap, and then you can use his belly like a trampoline. What?
I have a complaint that may seem a little odd, but I think there are too many dwarves. There's like 13 of them or something.
13 dwarves? That's easy. There's Dory, Nori, and Ori.
Yeah, okay, Darren, okay.
There's Biffa, Bofa, and Bomba.
Yeah, it's okay, Darren. It's not about remembering their names, though. You have to remember their unique skills. I kept coming to spots where I needed to do something like dig, and then I'd have to go back through them all. Was it this brown-haired, bearded guy that had the shovel, or this one, or this one, or this one? Oh!
You're right, it can get a bit confusing at times, but I think it's a pretty small frustration to have given how much content this game gives you. I mean, there's literally dozens and dozens of characters.
Yeah, that's a fair point, and I did have a lot of fun with it. Being able to call on the giant eagles to fly you around the world was especially cool.
Yeah, and don't forget those battle scenes. You get to fight orcs and trolls amidst those epic conflicts, and it's such a great looking game.
I agree. One of the criticisms we always have with the Lego games, though, is that they tend to feel a bit samey, and this one did for me too. I still had a lot of fun, so I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I think I had a bit more fun going there and back again with the Hobbit, so I'm giving it 8.5. Well, sadly, that's all the time we have for this week, but it's not all sad because, as you know, Bajo, it's time for Darren to reveal the answer to his challenge.
Oh, yes, Darren, was it Lego chess? Was it Lego races? Was it Lego Indiana Jones?
Negative, Bajo. Earlier I challenged the Spawners to work out what was the first Lego video game ever created. The answer is Lego Island. Oh, developed by Mindscape, it was released for PCs all the way back in 1997.
I was totally just about to say Lego Island.
Better luck next time, Bajo.
Next week in the show, we'll take a look at more vintage Nintendo favourites with NES Remix 2. Until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
Darren out.
Say, Darren, have you ever thought about growing a beard or a moustache?
I can't really do it, Bajo, because it's steel wool and it just looks wrong when I try to grow it out.
It'd be quite scratchy, wouldn't it?
That too.
What about you, Hex?
No, facial hair is not something that I aspire to, but,
right.
I
grow a beard, but it's on my head.
On your head. No, that's hair, Bajo.